I'm smelling coffee, birds are singing just outside. Here comes your mercy, streaming in with the morning light. My heart's racing, waking up to your smile, saying good morning. Saying good morning.
All right, so good morning. Welcome back. So today we are in Psalm 29. There are 11 verses. Give unto the Lord, O ye mighty. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thundereth. The Lord is upon many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. Yea, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon. He maketh them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian like a young unicorn. Or in their version it says wild ox. I tend to think rhinoceros, single-horned rhinoceros, but doesn't matter. The voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, and discovereth the forests. And in his temple doth every one speak of his glory. The Lord sitteth upon the flood. Yea, the Lord sitteth king forever. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. Quite a few different things in this particular psalm. The voice of the Lord. So the superscription, it's a Psalm of David. So obviously we have trouble figuring out when and where this took place, circumstances by, and so on. So we don't know for sure, but we can know that it's definitely a psalm of praise. So the ultimate answer to the question of when did he write it is really irrelevant, because we know when Paul says in Philippians, rejoice in the Lord always. So the time frame doesn't really matter, because David is praising the Lord, and there's always a good time to do that. The first part of verse 1, give unto the Lord, O ye mighty, give unto the Lord glory and strength. So the first portion, give unto the Lord, O ye mighty, it has two possible intentions. It could be mighty or mighty ones. It has been referred to as angelic beings in heavenly places, or mighty men of the earth. So the particular word used here has been used in other places in Scripture to refer to either angels or men of the earth. So we don't know exactly for sure, but I think both options really support the same cause. Praise the Lord. Give unto the Lord, O ye mighty. Give unto the Lord, O ye angels. Or give unto the Lord, O ye mighty men of the earth. Either way, I think it works. The second part of verse 1, give unto the Lord glory and strength. This is not suggesting that we give God something that he doesn't already have. This is an acknowledgement that those things, that he has those things. He's full of glory and strength. So we don't give him something he doesn't already have. This is just an acknowledgement. This is saying we're recognizing God's glory and strength. Spurgeon wrote, neither men nor angels can confer anything upon Jehovah, but they should recognize his glory and might and ascribe to him in their songs and in their hearts. So if you haven't guessed already, I'm a big fan of Spurgeon. Verse 2, give unto the Lord the glory due his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Give, give, give. Okay, this is we've seen give twice in verse 1 and give in verse 2. There's our emphasis. There's our redundant creating emphasis. Give unto the Lord. Really kind of acknowledge the Lord. The complexity of this verse arises when we understand the truth that we can never really sufficiently express the glory due his name. We can't do it. We must acknowledge his character, and in the simplicity of our finite minds, seek to lift his name as best as we can. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. We can do our best, and it would still not suffice. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Okay, worshiping in the beauty of holiness is an image of absolute humility. The beauty of Christ's holiness was his willingness to come down and serve a sinful people, sinful, rebellious people who hated him, and then proceed to die for those same people. Okay, to worship in the beauty of holiness is to worship in the proper position. This is humble and submitted. The Hebrew word for worship literally means to bow down. So if we worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness, we're bowing down, recognizing the holiness of God. The beauty of his holiness is that he sent his son to earth to die for a people that didn't want it, that still to this day don't want it. Most of us. Well, some of us do, some of them don't. We know the story. But the point is that the beauty of holiness is its willingness to put on flesh, live a perfect life, and die a sinner's death. To me, that is the ultimate beauty of holiness. Verse 3, the voice of the Lord is upon the waters, the God of glory thundereth, the Lord is upon many waters. This is the first of 7 descriptions of the voice of the Lord in this psalm. Now, you remember the scene in Jurassic Park, the first original one. And they're sitting in the truck thing in the dark, and the power's out and it's raining, and the glass of water is on the dash, and you hear this like thunder kind of thing, and one of the characters, I don't know if it was Jeff Goldblum, somebody I think it was the little girl, noticed the glass of water and the rings that were kind of like the waves in the glass were vibrating because of the sound and the vibration of the ground. When okay, I'm going to spoil it for you, T-Rex shows up, and the stepping that he does just shakes the earth. Okay, this is that idea. Now, have you ever been in a storm where you hear a thunder and the whole house shakes? I mean, your windows rattle, your glasses in the cabinet clang together. I mean, you can feel everything shake. This is the description that David gives to the voice of the Lord. The voice of the Lord moves in such a way that it shakes the foundation of creation, and yet it cannot be seen. This thundering voice causes ripples in the glass of water and upon the waves of the mightiest seas. This is that picture. It's you feel the thunder. It's like the deep into your soul. It just shakes everything. It's this deep, real. It's amazing when you can hear it from miles away, and everything just kind of rattles. This is what David is describing. The voice of the Lord, verse 4, is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. Consider the roar of a lion. Okay, it is said that the roar of a lion can be heard 5 miles away. That is powerful. That is a mighty, powerful voice. And again, David is describing the voice of the Lord in such a way that it shakes everything. It travels distances. And then it's full of majesty. There's this, let's say you're watching National Geographic and you watch the lion roar, there is this sense of awe in just that. You know, we look at God's creation. We look at the lions and all the creatures that make their own various sounds, and the lion just puts this deep echoing roar, and we're captivated by it. This is the majesty. Imagine Imagine the voice of the Lord just shaking the heavens. And you couldn't help but just fall to your knees, and just be in awe of it. Totally just enveloped in the sense of God's majesty. Verse 5. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars, yea, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon. Now, if you're not familiar with, it's the cedars were a very large tree. Okay, they have a trunk diameter of 6 to 8 feet, and can live for over 1,000 years. The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. Yea, the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon, like twigs. Think about the opera singer who can hit such a note frequency that she'll shatter glass. Okay, I've never seen it myself, but it's got to be true, right? There is a frequency that can shatter glass, and people have been able to reach that frequency. This is the voice of the Lord that's able to shatter a tree that is 6 to 8 feet in diameter. If we look at verse 6, he maketh them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian like a young unicorn, ox, rhinoceros, whatever. Imagine this cedar tree splintering and being tossed as if it weighed nothing. Okay, this is the skipping calf. They're so light on their feet, they look like they're just kind of floating off nothing, David is describing the way the cedar tree, the cedars of Lebanon, would respond to the voice of God. Just kind of like poof, You remember the movie Twister, where everything is just kind of floating around like it doesn't weigh anything. This is that image. And then the voice of the Lord, he maketh them also to skip like a calf, Lebanon and Syrian like a young unicorn. This is Lebanon, obviously the land, and then Syrian is Mount Hermon, which is east of Jordan. And David is saying the voice of the Lord causes the earth itself to move. The mountains are shaken. Again, all of creation responds to the voice of God. Verse 7, the voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire. That word divideth in here, it just stirs or divides. And it's the voice of the Lord is described as thunder breaking through the clouds with flames of fire or lightning. So again, David is describing these pictures that we can relate to. We know what thunder sounds like. We know what lightning looks like. We know the sounds and things that we can kind of attribute to God. So David is painting this beautiful picture of just how amazing the voice of the Lord is. Verse 8, the voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. Say Barnes, he's a commentator, says, it causes it to shake or to tremble. The word used here means properly to dance. Okay, to be whirled or twisted upon anything. To twist as with pain or to writhe, and then to tremble or to quake. The forests are made to tremble or quake in the fierceness of the storm, referring still to what the thunder seems to do. The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. Everything moves. Everything responds. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. I don't know if Kadesh was really just an area of land that David was familiar with, and his readers or hearers probably would have been familiar with. So it's really just kind of, Kadesh had a vast amount of wilderness, and it was said to be a real thick wilderness, very, very big. So David is saying the voice of the Lord shakes that wilderness, shakes. And again, people would have recognized Kadesh and would have been able to draw a picture in their minds for it. Verse 9, the voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, and discovereth the forests and in his temple doth every one speak of his glory. An interesting image to consider. Gills, another commentator, his exposition reads, regarding this verse, the voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, which being timorous creatures, or very, very timid creatures, the bringing forth of their young, which is naturally very painful and difficult, is lessened and facilitated by thunder. They being either so frightened with it that they feel not their pains, or their pains being hastened by it become more easy. And naturalists observe that the time of bringing forth their young as is at the season of the year when thunder is most frequent. So the voice of the Lord creates a thunder that causes the deer to give birth. So it just shakes. Either it scares them so much that it's just a quick process, or whatever. But David again is drawing this picture that again, the voice of the Lord goes everywhere, and everything responds to it. Discovereth, or maketh bare, in verse 9, it's all nature is affected by the voice of the Lord. By the voice of the Lord all things were created, so it's only fitting that all creation responds to it. Spurgeon again says, is not this a noble psalm to be sung in stormy weather? Can you sing amid the thunder? Will you be able to sing when the last thunders are loose and Jesus judges the quick and the dead? That's a great question. Can you sing amid the thunder? Can you sing in the middle of the world being shaken? Will you be able to sing when the last thunder is loose? When the voice of the Lord is spoken the last time? The trumpet will play, and that'll be it. Will you be able to sing in that moment when Jesus Christ comes to judge the quick and the dead? I recommend you answer that question to yourself. Verse 10, the Lord sitteth upon the flood, yea, the Lord sitteth king forever. Okay, this is the only other place in the Old Testament where this word for flood is used. The other place is referring to the flood in Genesis 6 with Noah. Okay, so David is referring to the great flood. Now, verse 11, the Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. So, it's amazing. So David starts out with this praise in verses 1 and 2, and then describes the voice of the Lord through verse 10. How mighty his voice is, how that creation responds to God's voice, and the things that the voice of the Lord causes to happen. But then David gets to verse 11 again, and the Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. So it's an odd transition, but I like it because within this infinite power and authority, there is no better source to receive strength. Okay, the Lord is described very, very dramatically in these verses. And that same Lord will give his people peace and strength. Okay, and all throughout Scripture, God reveals that he is both willing and eager to provide his children with strength. It is obvious to assume that the God who can provide us with such a great strength can also give us such a great peace. David's confidence in the strength God provides would without a doubt be a great source of peace. So imagine, okay, if you've drawn this picture of the voice of the Lord and how amazing it is and how full of majesty it is, the power of it, the holiness of it, the strength, the way creation itself just folds under it. And David says that the Lord that we've just described will give you his children's strength. Imagine the kind of strength that you could get from a Lord like that. If you were only willing to accept it. The Lord will bless his people with peace. If you are his children, if you are his child, if you are his people, that strength is available. That peace is available. Again, the peace that passes all understanding. The peace that doesn't make sense to those around who are in the middle of this same storm where the trees are splitting and the earth is shaking. And you and I are at peace, singing a song. So, I want to leave you with a question. Have you ever heard the voice of the Lord? Now this is describing the voice that shakes everything. Yet, further back in the Old Testament, we hear about a still small voice, a quiet voice. And I think David has heard that voice as well in a few Psalms that we've discussed, where he changes in the midst of his psalm, he goes from his plea to his, but the Lord has heard me. I think it's that quiet recognition that God shows up. I think that we need to give unto the Lord glory and strength. We need to recognize God's glory and strength. We need to recognize the glory due his name and worship appropriately in the beauty of holiness, in the humility, recognizing what Christ has done for us, recognizing the mightiness of God and his voice, and his willingness to save a people. So, thank you for watching. That closes out Psalm 29. Tomorrow we will begin Psalm 30. And we should be finishing out the week in Psalm 31. It's going to be, I believe, 2, if not 3 sections. So we'll probably only get through the first one on Friday. And then we'll go from there. So do that thing you do. Share, like, subscribe, ring that little bell. I just now figured that one out. If you want to get notified when these videos come out. Usually it's every day around 8 o'clock in the morning Central Time. Sometimes we may miss. We haven't missed yet, but we took a week off, a week before. So summertime's coming, so we may take another week, and then it takes a little time off here and there maybe. But we'll see. My goal is to get through Psalms, preferably this year. I don't know for sure. It's hard to say. There are quite a few. So bear with me. And again, thank you for watching, and God bless.